LaReeRee makes Shabba is a podcast filled with light-hearted, fun-loving, feel-good, naughty and nice stories. Join me every week as I chat with some of the most influential people on this planet, from A-list celebrities to chefs, hairstylists, you name it. It's dedicated to everyone that has ever made a difference in my life in some way or another. Let's make Shabba with LaReeRee.
Hello.
Hi, Sade.
How are you?
Oh my word, you know what? New to Zoom, so I was like, what am I supposed to press? Why isn't Sade coming up? I'm so embarrassed.
You were supposed to let me into the meeting. It's okay, darling. It's okay.
I apologize.
It's
Okay.
Please don't apologize. It's okay.
I'm gonna do a short introduction and then we can start.
Of course. Yeah.
So, one of South Africa's most beloved TV personalities of the world of entertainment is living her best life in the UK and becoming a force to be reckoned with in the beautiful London. So, I'm so excited, and it's such a huge honor for me to have the fabulous Miss Sade Giliberti on LaReeRee. Now, what is LaReeRee Makes Shabba? Let me tell you quickly. It's a podcast about awareness, education, activism, and entertainment. It aims to address and promote gender equality, empowerment of youth, women, and of course the LGBTQI plus community. So topics will cover human rights, equality, human issues, health, travel, lifestyle, social, and entrepreneurship. So we're going to talk about just everything and just have a good time today. So my beautiful Miss Giliberti, please introduce yourself to our viewers.
You've already done such a fantastic introduction for me. I don't even need to do anything right now. Hello, everybody. My name is Sade Giliberti. I'm a TV presenter. I'm an actress. I'm a content creator. And as Richard said, I was in South Africa most of my life, and I'm now living my best life in London.
Today, let's start at the beginning. We all know you from YoTV. We grew up with you. What is Sade now busy with in the UK? And for how long? Will you ever come back to South Africa, or is the UK now home for you?
For now, the UK is home. I've been here now for 6 years. It's going to be 6 years at the end of February. So that's a long enough time to call this place home. But South Africa will always be my home. It's my first home. It's my love. It's, you know, it's who I am. So everything that I was doing in the UK and some. So, you know, people knew me on TV there. I've been hustling to try and do the exact same thing here. In a new country, it's not that easy, and it doesn't matter how great or expansive your CV is. Mm-hmm. You in a new land do things very differently, and they don't care who you are. So I'm now that who is on the other side, coming up to me going, "How do I get into the industry?" And I was like, I have no idea. I grew up in the industry, so I don't know how to tell you to get into the industry. And now I'm that person who's like, how do I get into the industry here? So, so it's amazing how my life has done a full circle with regards to that. But I'm out here, I'm going to castings, I'm hustling, I've gotten amazing gigs while I've been here. I'm also working as a content creator. I've really diverse skill sets. I'm a videographer now, I'm an editor, I work as a content creator, and I just do as much as I can, just learn and go and diversify myself. And I've found myself doing things that I don't have done in South Africa. My life in South Africa would have been very different to my life here in London, but I'm still marrying the exact same skill sets. I'm still marrying everything that I know from the industry, and I'm just bringing it here.
We, on the show, we'd like to promote and introduce viewers and listeners to proudly queer personalities. And you most definitely one of them, out and very proud. Any messages you have for the youth looking up to you?
I think the most important thing is we all know that being a part of the community, fully accept self before others accept the hard thing for us. You know, people that those who own it from day dot, from birth, unapologetic. They do not care. They're just like, this is who I am, and they deal with all get thrown at them. And then there is the ones who are a little bit more afraid. Maybe they come from a conservative family, maybe about how disgusting and horrible homosexuality is, to like hide, and it almost becomes like the sinful, shameful things. So for those kind of people, it ends up being a really, really hard to accept, because this lie for a very, very long time. So for me, it matters which end you are in, whether you've been unapologetic from the day you were born, or whether you're trying to come to terms with your sexuality. All you have to do is own it. Own who you are. Own who you are. Be non-conforming. Love yourself as you are. I think the most biggest thing is acceptance. It's self-acceptance. Before you can ask anybody to accept you for who you are, you have to accept yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to have self-compassion. So once all of that inner work is done, then, honey, you can take on the world. Then all of the things that people throw at you, it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? Of course it matters, because we are human. So we do get hurt. We have we feel things, but it won't hurt as much because you are so in your power. So all I want to say to everyone out there within the LGBTQ plus community, know that you are not alone. The community is massive. We are all amazing, incredible, creative, loving, sparkly people. We are here for one another. So reach out, find your tribe, find your family. Family isn't just the people you were born into. They're not just blood. Family is so much more than that. So the most important thing to remember is you are not alone. And reach out, find people, and just be your damn incredible self, because there's only one you, boo. There's one you. And you need to live your best life.
Yes, beautiful. That is the most incredible advice that anyone can give, my darling. Yes, 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 yes. So we find ourselves in the pandemic at the moment. It's lockdown, it's quarantine. You're an artist, you're a creator. How does life, or how has life changed during this time? And especially, I know in South Africa, the artists are really, really struggling. Is it the same in the UK? How do you deal with it?
It is exactly the same in the UK. I think all artists everywhere in the world are struggling, unless you are an A-lister, where things are still coming at you in full. Now, even struggling, for me to even say this, are living their best lives. No, they're not. They are also struggling, because it's taken a lot for people to understand that certain things can still happen during this pandemic. There are ways for us to still film. There are ways for us to still do things. There are ways for us to still have virtual castings and do self-tapes. So there has been a lot of adaptation. We've all had to adapt to this new normal, as everyone likes to call it. But it has been difficult. I'm not going to lie, it has been difficult. Where I'm grateful is, like I said in my introduction, I've had to diversify my skill sets, and I've had to. I can't just be this TV presenter or this pretty face that waits for either a casting or waits to put together a concept to some executive producer. I have to be proactive. I have to pay for the roof over my head. I have to look after myself. So during this time, I've been doing a lot of editing work, which I don't have to leave my house. I just have to sit in front of my desktop and I have to make pretty pictures move. So I've been able to do that. And I've also recently, I sound produced and produced an audio play, which I did throughout December and January. Again, I didn't have to leave my house. So when we went into lockdown in December, here in the UK, it wasn't panic like it was last year. March. It was all I can do from home, and I've diversified my skill sets that it's okay, and we're now living in this age of Zoom. People are doing a lot more IGTV lives where we're connecting with other people all over the world. So as of May, June last year, when Pride, all the Pride month started kicking off here in the Northern Hemisphere, that was what I was doing. Those were my gigs. But I mean, I was doing, I signed up with, I collaborated with an app in America, an LGBTQ plus app in America. I did a lot of talks. I did a lot of virtual gigs. So we've had to find ways to get it going. A lot of self tapes, because now I can't audition in person. So it's been tough. But what we need to do is we need to, instead of sitting back and going, oh, this is so tough, what am I going to do? What can you do? We all have skills. So instead of going, what am I going to do? The question is, what can I do in this time to make myself some money, to diversify, to learn, to be much more than this pretty face that can be on TV?
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes. I understand you fully. You just answered the question I wanted to ask now, because many artists, they panic a lot and they're like, what am I going to do next? I had an interview with Tumi Maraki as well, and she said, as an artist, now it's the time to actually, like you just say, explore other different venues you have never explored before, and see how that can help you to survive this pandemic that we are going through.
100%. If you've always deep down inside wanted to write a screenplay, write a screenplay. Try. You could be, or you could absolutely suck, but that's fine because you tried. Have you ever wanted to try editing videos better than just doing it on your phone? Get software, and there's so many free softwares out there. And to be a person who conceptualizes new TV shows, put together your concept and search on the internet, look up ideas. And you think a lot of artists get stuck in Instagram and that's it, and that's not enough anymore. It wasn't enough prior to the pandemic, and the pandemic, what it's is that it's beforehand now, and we need to spread our wings. We're very quick to sit back and go, oh no, I'm just an actor, and it's like, no. And you will see this with a lot of celebrities and stuff. Will start out as a TV presenter. Next thing you know, they're an actor. Next thing you know, they're a rapper. Next thing you know, they have a clothing line. Next thing you know, so this is what we do. We diversify our skill sets. And having a clothing line and being it is skill, because you need to be business savvy. But if your passion is creativity, is creation, then create. Just create.
Most definitely. You know what? You're such a wise person. You've always been. Can we talk about your most vivid childhood memory? Did you ever think in your entire life that you will be at this point and stage in your life where you are now, growing up as a child?
No. I mean, gosh, as a child, I was born in Durban, but I lived most of my life in Johannesburg. And we used to live back then in Berea and Yeoville, Hillbrow place to be. So my childhood was running around the streets, living my best life. Because back then you could run around in the streets and live your best life, and it was okay. And I was a child, okay? I'm talking like 5 years old, like, woo, yeah, playing and getting up to no good. And I'd started modeling at that age, but I never saw it as a job. I was too young to comprehend what was going on. Ever so often, twice a week or once a week or over the weekends, I'd get to go do this shoot where they'd put me in pretty pink dresses, which I absolutely hated, but I loved the camera. Weirdly enough, I loved the camera. And I think subconsciously that comes from my father, because he just took 1,000 photographs of me, 1,000,000 photographs of me when I was a child. So being in front of camera wasn't anything that I was nervous about. I actually enjoyed it, you know. There were days where I didn't want to get my photograph taken, but I enjoyed it. So to say, as a child, did I see myself being this person? Not really. I mean, once I got into TV presenting, yes, as a child, you start to dream of, you know, oh, one day I'm going to win an Oscar. Not obviously being a young TV presenter, not realizing that it's only actors who win Oscars, not TV presenters. But in my head, I was going to win an Oscar. And, you know, as a child, I wanted to be a ninja. I loved Bruce Lee. I wanted to be a ninja.
Yeah.
And then when I realized that being a ninja is not a real career, I wanted to be a doctor. And then I realized I was absolutely terrible at maths and science, so I can't be a doctor. So then the presenting worked out for me just fine.
Absolutely beautiful. And it's perfect for you. And look now how far you've come. If you could invite any 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh, this question has always been the worst question for me because I never know. So I'll say the very first person will be my Zia Maria. That's an aunt in Italian. She passed away a few years ago. She was my most favorite person in the whole wide world. She was the most loving, the most incredible, and she was the most phenomenal cook. So if I'm going to have a dinner party, I have to invite somebody who can cook like a boss. Okay. And yeah, so she would be number one. Because she would not only cook for everybody, but then she would be part of the guests as well, because she was just that kind of amazing, phenomenal person. I think as of late, the one person I would definitely want to have at my dinner party is Viola Davis.
Oh, yeah.
That woman is just so boss, okay? And I find her absolutely fascinating that I would just love to pick her brain. I would just love to have a conversation with her about her journey, about her successes, and about how she handles herself in such a intense environment like Hollywood, where it's only now that women are really being recognized. It's only now that Black actors are being recognized, really. You know, I mean, there've been moments throughout history, but it's ridiculous that we're still where we are in 2021. But she's a boss, and I want to sit down with that boss brand, like, tell me how you do it, please. Yes. I just find her so inspiring. I think she's absolutely amazing. And the third person, oh, this is such a good one. I don't even know who the third person would be. It would have to be some sort of musician, some sort of phenomenal musician. I would say Sade, to be honest, because she's also someone who's had an incredible life. Yeah. And it would be interesting to find out more about, you know, also how she navigated so many things, especially in the 80s, being a mixed race artist in such a very English, because, you know, she was born here in the UK in a very English white predominant setting, and how she just broke through all of that, because it doesn't matter what skin color you are. Everybody loved the band Sade. She was just incredible, and she's succeeded through so many things. So yeah, she would be the next one.
Absolutely. I love your guest list, by the way. And I will be there for the food. I'll be there for the food, because you
are invited.
Thank you, my darling. If you say Maria can cook like a boss, I need to be there, because what is better than food?
What is better than food? Honestly.
If you could have a theme song for your life, any theme song for your life, what would it be?
A theme song for my life. Yo. Richard, you're out here giving me things that I actually have no idea. Could I just be a smooth operator?
Oh, yeah. I see that you have a lot of ink. Now, I have ink as well. I think I have 10. But my ink doesn't have any meaning. If I like a picture, I put it on me, and people are like, "Oh, what is the meaning of your tattoos, Richard?" And I'm like, they don't have meaning. If I like the picture, I put it on me. You also, my darling, have ink. Do you perhaps have meaning for the ink on yourself?
I think I have one tattoo on my body that has no meaning. Of all of my tattoos, almost every single one of them have meaning. It's I think it's just I kind of made every single journey with my tattooing a personal journey. And throughout those moments in my life where I decided I'm going to ink myself now, it had to be something important to me. And most of the times that I did get ink, it was because I was going through a transition in my life. So I wanted to mark that transition or mark that moment onto my body as just, well, you know, why not? My body's a canvas. Let me add my moments physically onto them. So yeah, they all have meaning except for one.
Okay, so I think I have two that has meaning. I have one here. It's the pride flag thingy.
Nice.
Yes, that is because I'm very proud and out, you know. And then I have one with my mother's name, Kath, because my mother recently passed away last year. So
I'm so sorry. Condolences.
Thank you, my darling. But I think that is the only two that literally has meaning. The rest, it's Ariel and Ursula, and you know, it's just cartoon characters.
Listen, clearly cartoon characters mean something to you, so there is meaning, okay?
Yes, thank you, my darling. So, your honest opinion about our country, Mzansi. What is your honest opinion about South Africa?
Oh man, you know what? I will start with I love South Africa. I love South African people and I love South Africa. To me, honestly, as a person who has dual nationality and who has been fortunate enough to travel a lot of places in the world, not enough, but a lot of places in the world, I can tell you truthfully that South Africa is one of the most beautiful countries, if not the most beautiful country in the world, as far as I am concerned. I love it. I wish the political stance, the political issues in South Africa would sort themselves out sooner rather than later. I am very much aware and very much accepting of the fact that we are still a very young country when it comes to democracy. We haven't had democracy in our country for a very long time. We only got it in the bloody 90s, which is a little bit ridiculous, but it is what it is, and it's fine. You know, we have to move on from that. So because we are a young country, we have a lot of teething problems. The problem with these teething problems is that the power has promised to sort these teething problems out since the 90s, and we're still sitting with them in 2021. And that is the problem for me, because the chasm between rich and poor in South Africa, in most countries, South Africa is not special, but in South Africa is really large. It's huge. The disparities are massive. And we basically, my father said this to me the other day because he was talking about Italy and how Italy needs a revolution at the moment because things aren't doing so well there. And South Africa has had many, many revolutions here and there. But that's what we need. We need the people to shout at the government and say, you are doing nothing for us because this is ridiculous. You know, South Africa is in a state of load shedding, of major corruption. Let's not even talk about the billions that went missing from COVID last year. Like, this is an issue. Do you know what I mean? But having said that, I'm in the UK. The grass isn't greener here. The UK has its own issues as well. There's certain things that are better here than in South Africa. But trust me, this place has its issues just as much. The government's also all over the place and nothing's perfect. So I just pray that SA sort their stuff out, because it's such a beautiful country and South African people are such amazing people. The potential to be this grade A place is there, But with all the corruption, with all the nonsense, the police officers don't get paid enough. So why are they going to do their jobs properly? They rather be, if you're going to slip them 100 rand, they're going to rather take your 100 rand than actually serve and protect. Do you know what I mean? So the teething problems need to they need to be sorted out now. Otherwise, South Africa is going to find itself in the same weird loop for the next 50 years.
Yes. On that question, what do you think South Africa needs a minister of what to be on that whole cabinet and everything?
Well, firstly, a minister of diversity, please.
Yeah.
Can we have a real minister of diversity? Can we have a real minister who hears and sees the people? And when I say hears and sees the people, I mean Indian, black, white, colored, LGBT, disabled, old, young, all the people. We need somebody who sees the people of South Africa, the diversity within the people, not someone who is pro-black or pro-white or only pro this, because that doesn't help us. That's dividing the country even more. We need someone who's going to really just look at people and elevate the rainbow nation, as we call it, because at the moment we're still sitting with a lot of exclusion. There's no rainbow nation here. The only rainbow nation is the fact that we're all just diverse in color and culture. But when it comes to all of us being together like a rainbow, stacked on top of one another and forming this beautiful color, we're not there. So we need that. But we also need somebody who's going to be there for all the gays. Okay.
Yes.
So Minister of LGBT awesomeness, please.
Yes. Moving on, my darling. So we're gonna go a little bit naughty. So
let's go.
Some people are so afraid to talk about sex. If they hear the word sex, like, oh no, let's move away from that topic. What is your feeling about sex, and how do you experience any sexual pleasure? A friend of mine asked me, Richard, describe your orgasm face, and I was like, okay. I've never watched myself in a mirror playing my face. So what is your feeling about sex in general?
So as I've gotten older, it's changed. When I was younger, it was just this raunchy, dirty thing that people did because I was exposed to it from a very, very young age. And I think my exposure to it wasn't in a positive light. So it just made me go, here's this thing that people do to kind of like release this energy that they need to release. But like, where's the love? Where's the intimacy? Where's all of this thing? It's just sex, it's just people having sex. It's just, if I can be profane, it's just fucking, basically, where's the intimacy? And obviously as a kid, I would also find like my dad's porn all over the place. And that's, again, it's just fucking. So I never got the love making part. So when they explain it to you in school about how babies are made, and it's like when a mummy and a daddy love each other, you're just like, But as I got older and I came into myself, and obviously now my hormones are peaking, and you find yourself starting to get a little bit sexual. I was still very freaked out by it for a very long time. But now, as a grown-ass woman, I'm here for it. Sex is so important. Sex, consensual sex, obviously between two adults, especially if you are in that mode of really liking each other, to falling in love with each other, is so important. It's beautiful. It's amazing. If you're into having casual sex, that's great too. Just do it safely and do it consensually. It doesn't matter, because sex, as much as it's a spiritual connection with a person, it's also a release that we as humans need to release internal tensions. So it's a release, So I think people need to, adults especially, parents need to stop making sex this weird taboo thing, because it really isn't. It's natural.
Yeah.
Animals do it. We are part animal. So just speak to your children about it normally. Stop with this birds and bees bullshit story. Stop talking about how you came from a stork. Just be honest,
Exactly.
just be honest.
Exactly. I hear
Be
you.
honest.
I
Because
hear you.
do you know what I mean? And parents kind of forget that they're human and they also have sex. So don't dumb it down. Just speak, because then you make it weird. I had an ex of mine who was very sex was a dirty thing. Sex was like, no, it's dirty. Like, and because from a young age, that was how she was, her parents or her mom made her feel like sex was a very dirty thing. Like, you don't do that. And why would you deprive someone of that? Why would you take that away from somebody? Why would you make someone feel like doing a sexual act is a dirty thing? Oh, come on, don't do that to your child.
And not just that, these days, children are way smarter. I mean, in the olden days,
Exactly.
And with smartphones and everything it's just a click away and you can see everything. So I totally agree with you. Just be honest from the start.
Yeah.
My darling, let's end it off.
100%.
End it off very, very nice. What inspires you in life?
What inspires me in life? I think the biggest thing for me, because I'm a spiritual person, I'm all about connection with self and connection with this universe. So what inspires me in life is people who are connected, people who are open, people who love, people who spread joy, people who don't do things for themselves as much as they do things for the greater good of humanity and kindness. So, when you're in your power, when you are so in your power and you really... Hello?
Yes, I'm back. Sorry for that, my darling. Internet connection.
No,
It's the most
it's
important part now, and I can internet. You're going to do this to me now.
That's another problem with South Africa, the internet connection.
Yes, Carol, yes. Back to the question.
Oh no. Let me simplify the question, because I like to answer things very elaborately, and sometimes I just need to make it this short. Basically, what inspires me is people who... Self-compassion inspires me. People who are self-compassionate, people who have compassion for other people, people who are not self-absorbed, people who are so connected with source, connected with themselves, connected with the universe, that they can see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture isn't about themselves. It's about, what can I do with my skill set to inspire, encourage other people? What can I do to spread awareness to other people? That is what inspires me. For me, for example, there is nothing worse than a celebrity who flosses their wealth to the people on social media. I hate that shit. I hate it more than anything. I don't care where in the world you come from. Nothing annoys me more, because in reality, your fans, most of them are people who live below the poverty line. So here you are flossing your shit. And there's a 50-50 to that. There's two sides of the coin to that. One side of the coin is, if you were zero, you are an inspiration to people to go, I can also do that. I can also create that. And I think that part is fantastic. It's how you showcase yourself to people that matters to me. So if you showcase yourself to people in an aspirational way, fantastic, amazing. You are inspirational. But if you showcase yourself to people like, my shit don't stink, look at me out here with my 7 Bentleys, you wish you were me, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't fly. Because you want to be one thing, which is this amazing self-compassion loving person, but actually you're very vapid. Okay. Yeah. And you have to be very careful about what you do with the powers that you have. So that's just my thing on celebrities. They have to really think about the powers that they have and who is looking at them. Be aspirational, inspire people, do good with what you can do good with. So what inspires me is when people do that. They take create or take a platform and do good with it and inspire other people. That is important in this world. We need more love.
Yeah.
We need more love and compassion.
Totally agree with you. Last but not least, what is the last series you were busy with, which you recommended to anyone to watch?
The last show that I watched, oh my goodness, what is it called? Oh my goodness, I can't remember the name right now, which is absolutely ridiculous. You have to just give me a moment.
That's fine, darling.
Oh my days, I can't believe that I do not remember this show. I literally watched it on BBC iPlayer, and when you first start watching it, you think to yourself, this is what?
It's called It's a Sin, right? It's a Sin. Like,
what are you going to say? No, I haven't started that. No, my God. I haven't started.
Okay,
I haven't started. I know. I tweeted a clip. Say nothing. I tweeted a clip about It's a Sin yesterday, I think it was, because I absolutely loved the clip that I saw. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I've been wanting to watch that because I think it started here last week or the week before, and I haven't started. But there was another show on BBC iPlayer that I started watching. Oh my goodness, why can't I find it? This is so annoying. Where is it? We Are Who We Are.
I watched that as well.
We Are Who We Are. Now, I know that when you start watching it, it's a little bit like, what is going on? This is so weird. The story's all over the place. But once you get past episode 1, the penny starts to drop. And I think why I loved the show so much is because it's raw. It's not your typical Hollywood series. It's a raw series, and it's filmed in such a raw way, and the characters they real. It almost feels like a reality show than actual, like watching actors, because everything is so raw and so real, and you watch it going, if I was a fly on the wall, I could possibly be looking at this realistically, like everything's panning out. I think the characters were played out so well. The actors were absolutely fantastic. I loved the themes of it. You know, the lesbian moms, this kid who's possibly on the spectrum because he's all over the place and dealing with so much angst and anxiety, and how his tumultuous relationship with his mother. Then this young this young person who possibly realizes that they may be trans, and these relationships, the sexual innuendos. It's brilliant. People must watch it. It's really fantastic.
Thank you so very much, my darling. I totally agree with you if they haven't watched it yet. As a belief man, so we are who we are. Sade, where can your fans get a hold of you? What is your projects coming up we can look forward to in the future?
So firstly, I will say, it's best not to speak about the projects that are coming up, because then it ends up being an element of surprise. Sometimes you mustn't tell people what you are up to. Okay. And that is something that I've tried to live by for a very long time. But now that I'm getting older, I'm truly believing it. You don't need to tell people what you're up to. When it comes out, they will see. So I'm going to leave it at that.
That's
for
great
now.
advice, actually. That is great advice.
The thing is that, you know, we get excited as humans and we want to share things that we're getting up to, but sometimes you're sharing it with the wrong ears without realizing it. It doesn't matter if they're friends or family or whoever it may be. Sometimes you're sharing it with the wrong ears. Not everyone is going to be happy for you, and not everyone's going to want this for you. So rather keep things to yourself, work on your stuff, work on your ideas, and when it comes out, ta-da, this is what I've been doing. Do you know what I mean? So I say that. With regards to where people can see me, I'm on social media. I'm not on TikTok. It's the one app I still have not downloaded, and I probably will never download it. Not interested. But I am on Twitter, I am on Instagram, and I do have a Facebook page that I'm never on, but I'm trying to be better with it. So Instagram and Twitter is @Sade Giliberti. If you know how to spell my name, you will easily find me. If you can't spell my name, just Google me. You will easily find me. So at Sade Giliberti, and then on Facebook, the same, Sade Giliberti, there I am.
All that I can say is bye-bye, Duncan. Thank you so very much for taking time out. It's such a beautiful pleasure to always speak to. I remember I interviewed you once. You were still on YoTV, and it's like, this child has always been an inspiration. And now as a young adult woman, you're still that inspiration. All my blessings to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you so much for your kind words, for taking the time to speak to me. I do appreciate it. And carry on doing what you're doing. I think it's fantastic that you're out there speaking to people, enhancing them, sharing words of wisdom, speaking to people who are aspirational and inspirational. Carry on. Do the best you can do. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye.